So we're going to have an LA Box Lacrosse League camp September 6th, September 7th in the pad in Torrance, right? High school guys are going to go on the 6th, youth, middle school on the 7th. What would someone expect who's signing up to learn, and what kind of curriculum are you going to run in the camp?
Yeah, so this is a curriculum I've used for 10 years. It's developed through different people I've worked with and spending a lot of time up in Canada. We hammer out stick skills first. There's no doubt about it. We add a couple things that are a little different that maybe you didn't learn in a field. A little bit different way to pass and to hold your stick, because you've got to get rid of the ball so quickly. And then when we get into offense, we'll obviously bring in the two-man game and the ideas of it and concepts in that, and how to create chaos for the defense. Defensively, we're going to talk specifically about body position, footwork, where we want to take them.
Play the two-man game, right?
How to play the two-man game, how to communicate the two-man game.
Sure.
And then, one of my favorite parts of the game is, we'll get into transition and how you read the field instead of just running up, standing, and waiting. How, as transition goes, what the flow of the play is, and where my guys are, where the defenders are, and how can we move the ball to a spot to really make it the best to our advantage right away, as opposed to sitting there and letting the defense get all set up. So all those things we'll get into pretty quickly.
And go over the rules of how to play the real Canadian-style box.
Absolutely. We'll talk about what you can and can't do, and there's rules in box where people think cross-checking is just out there getting crazy, and it's not. There are times when you can and times when you can't, right? When you're near the boards, there's safety issues there. That's all taken care of. We'll get into that. But, just the idea how to think the game so much more than,
sure.
If you watch the professionals in Junior A and Junior B, you get up to Senior A in Canada, and they're, some of those guys aren't the most athletic, but their stick skills are off the charts, and their IQ and their ability to make
finish on a goalie, right?
Yeah,
it's incredible what the Canadians can do. They
right,
can stick the ball into a little tiny area.
Yeah, I mean, we don't spend enough time as field coaches teaching deception, right? And that's not just with the ball. That's
100%.
Off the ball. That's that's the ball carrier, but not with his stick, with his feet. And then everybody off ball. You can really create space for the ball carrier if you do the right thing off ball, or create space for yourself.
Moving off ball is a nightmare for a defense.
Right.
And when you take that box element of moving off ball and put that on the field, great things happen.
Yeah, and it's not just moving. It's moving with purpose.
Sure.
And when you're in a small space, we have rules of what we do, and they all make sense. And, the ball carrier does one thing, and you got four people reading it, and everybody's got to kind of be on the same page, right? We talk about the same thing in field with six guys out there. You always have to be aware of where your defender is, where you are, and what you are doing to the ball carrier at the moment. How can I help him out? How can I help myself out? And in a box, that becomes critical and I, in my mind, easier to teach with five guys as opposed to six in a small space. You recognize it. You get X guys at the field, they're just behind the cage. They're just waiting to get the ball or waiting to back up a shot, and that's it. Whereas, in the box game, you got, three lefties or three righties, whichever you have set up, righty strong or lefty strong. And the other two guys know what to do when the ball's over. Typically you're playing with the ball on the two-man side, and you're doing some kind of a rotation or picks or seals on the off-ball side. And when it doesn't work, you immediately switch directions, switch sides, and boom. And that, everybody knows what we're doing. So it seems like, and it is a very free-flowing game, but everything is run with certain ideas and concepts that you do with and without the ball.